James for the untouchable, true school sports. Let's go, baby. Bow!
Be careful what you wish for because it can become a reality.
Yeah. The untouchable True School Sports Empire proudly presents something the boxing games are missing. Hey, what's going on? It's your boy BT, and I came here to talk some boxing with the thousands of True School Sports subscribers. All right, so one of my favorite fighters in all of boxing is back in action, and I can't believe it. You know, he's literally gonna fight 2 years to the day of his last fight, because the last time we saw this guy in the ring was back in August 9th of 2023. So he's gonna be fighting August 9th of 2025. So literally 2 years to the day. It's literally a 2-year layoff, and that fight I'm talking about is none other than the Pitbull. And I'm not talking about Isaac Cruz. I'm talking about the real Pitbull, Otar Eranosyan. Yes, he is back in action. And he'll be fighting at the Fox Theater in Pomona, California, against a Dominican fighter by the name of Dennis Aguero Arias. And yeah, that. Now this guy is fighting. You know, just if I take a look and I check under the hood of who he is and you know what kind of fighter he is. Now apparently it says on BoxRec his promoter is Daniel Rubin, so he sounds like he has an affiliation to Pro Box TV. But nonetheless, Dennis Aguero Arias is you know, he's fought a couple names. Well, actually one name in particular. The one name he fought that, you know, I know and you know for sure is none other than Guillermo Rigondeaux. He fought Guillermo Rigondeaux last year at 11 Nightclub in Miami, South Florida. Stand up, you know. Shout out to 11 Nightclub. But he fought Guillermo Rigondeaux last year. The WBC had an event there, and Rigondeaux, as old as he is now, knocked this guy out in 1 round. So conventional wisdom says that, you know, even if it's not 1 round, that Otar Eranosyan should not have a problem with this Dominican fighter. So you know, we'll see what happens. Best of luck to the Dominican. But you know, one thing I know about Otar Eranosyan, you know, because for those that don't know, Otar made a career. Yeah, he fought on Telemundo a lot, even though he don't speak a lick of Spanish. And he made a career early on of beating up Dominican fighters. So, you know, this isn't uncharted waters for him. But nonetheless, I wanted to talk about what could be next for Otar. Because really, truthfully, I haven't seen or heard much from him. The last time I even talked to Otar was last July, about it over a year ago. I remember I reached out to him to try to get him to be part of the Angelo Leo training camp for Bernardo Lopez for sparring, and he said he couldn't do it. So that was the last time I talked to him. And I haven't really heard or seen much since then. I do know he had a kid, so he's probably just been taking time off with his kid and whatnot. But I also know that he's not a guy that fighters in his weight class are necessarily eager to fight, because he's not a big name. There's not a lot of money in fighting him. And Otar Eranosyan, really and truthfully, he's a fighter that whether you win or lose, and nobody's beating him yet, but he's a guy that is not an easy night's work. He doesn't get tired. You know, I've said this in my older videos about him. I'll say it here again, just so it's documented. I've seen a lot of fighters over the years, and it's not many fighters that I think train as hard as Otar Eranosyan. I remember I saw Otar train before he even turned pro, and I didn't know nothing about him, and he stood out in the gym, and he was there. He was down there at Warriors Gym with Otabek Komatov and some other fighters. This is like 2020. It's like pandemic times, and I'm like, who's that guy? And so he's always stood out to me since then. Now, Otar, at this time last year, Otar was the #1 ranked fighter in the WBA rankings. He was actually the mandatory challenger when he beat Roger Gutierrez. For whatever the case may be, he couldn't get a title shot. Nothing really happened. And now, due to his inactivity, he's not in the rankings altogether. So I would fully anticipate that once he does, you know, if he does handle business like he should against this guy, I think that he will get in the rankings. And there's some attractive fights, because I think the WBA title picture and the 130 in general has gotten a lot more interesting since Otar was last active. You know, you got guys, and if you just look at the top 5, you got guys like, you know, Jazza Dickens won the interim title by upsetting Albert Batir Gaziev. You got Raymond Ford. You got Hayato Tsutsumi. You got Zoltan Sauerback, who a lot of people seem to be high on. You got William Foster the third in the top 15. Kaipo Gallegos, who a lot of people in Vegas tell me great things about. So there's a lot of just really good talent in the 130 division. You got guys like Andres Cortez, Masanori Rikishi. So Otar is going to have his chances to be a factor in this division. And I feel like he's one of the fighters in boxing that should be more of a factor in boxing, because he's really exciting to watch. He's an entertainer. You know, he just does all kinds of crazy things in the ring. If you watch him, you know what I'm talking about. He has the Georgian caucus wig that he wears that I think Khabib or one of the popular MMA fighters wears that too. So he's got, as the kids would say, he's got a lot of aura. You know, Otar Eranosyan has aura, and I'm happy to see that he's back in the ring because I really do feel like, and I still feel like, even at the age of, what is he now? How old is Otar these days? Because he can't be that old. I would say he's no older. I would say he's at the oldest. He's 33. How old is Otar? Otar is 31. So he's still at a good age. I've said a while ago that I thought he had world championship potential. I think he could still be a world champion because, you know, he brings a lot to the table in terms of his angles, his volume, his conditioning. And to beat him, you're going to have to really, really be in dog shape. If you're not in dog shape, you're going to lose to Otar Eranosyan. You know, a lot of people, I remember when he fought on Pro Box, a lot of people were calling Otar the dollar store Lomachenko, which I don't think is a bad thing because Lomachenko's a great fighter, you know. So if you could be the bootleg version of that, then shit, you doing something right. So that being said, yeah, Otar will be in action on the Night of the Champions 3 card, August the 9th in Pomona at the theater. So looking forward to him getting a win and God willing, you know, just being more active in the division and getting some of these fights. I don't think he's gonna get like a Lamar Roach fight or anything like that, but I would like to see him fight someone in the top 5. Maybe like Hayato Tsutsumi would be a good fight, you know, from Japan. If not him, Zoltan Sauerback. If not him, Raymond Ford. So there's options, but yeah. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. What do you guys think about Otar Eranosyan returning to the ring? And what do you guys think about just his place in the division? Leave your comments down below. Make sure you guys take the time to subscribe. And like I say in every single one of these videos, you can love me or you can hate me, but I'm just a kid from Dania. So until next time, take care, guys. Thank you for watching another video on the untouchable True School Sports Empire. For more great boxing content just like this, make sure you guys stay tuned and subscribe. You won't be disappointed.